I go to a lot of parties. Whenever I'm at one of these parties, a common talking point that often raises itself above the chatter is, "What is your favorite TV show?" You hear a lot of the same answers. Shows like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, and The Wire. But one that never seems to get much love happens to be my favorite, The Office. In this video essay, we will dive into what makes this show my favorite of all time. Set in the fictional town of Scranton, Pennsylvania, the show follows the events and everyday lives of employees at a paper company named Dunder Mifflin. Now, what makes Dunder Mifflin so special is its lack of significance to the plot in general terms per se. Take this scene, for example. It's one of the many scenes we see in which Jim is playing a prank on Dwight. Here, we see Dwight climbing a pole because Jim ran a red wire up it. In this scene, Jim is toying with Dwight's misguided sense of intuition. I, for one, find this scene absolutely brilliant in the way it's shot, composed, directed, and acted. Now, there's a clever metaphor hiding in the scenes where we find Jim, the salesman character, messing with Dwight. I think that it represents the way that Americans have such a blind yet overpowering trust for their own government, namely capitalism. Here, Dwight is essentially acting as the average middle-class citizen as he falls for an illusion created by Jim, who represents the government. The red wire represents, you guessed it, capitalism. What I find so endearing about the wire is that it seems so real, almost perfect in a way. It has no faults. It is simply a red wire with no faults. Now, an attentive viewer will realize that the wire's seemingly flawless quality represents the glimmer of American optimism, fueled by the pitfalls of capitalism, which also seems perfect on the outside. Following the same motif, the American Red Cross symbol shares its main color, red, with the wire's color, which is also red. Analyzation this deep was something the writers clearly intended, and someone who is well-read and well-versed in film study, like myself, can easily pick up on this. Another running plotline of The Office is Michael Scott's infatuation with the glowing hope of a better future for all his employees and those in his life. Definitely, from the start, we can see that this optimism is misplaced, for the mundane work environment clashes with Michael's bombastic personality. Quite frankly, the character I see myself the most in is Michael. He is the character that I have the most in common with. Someone who sees the world for what it isn't, and when that hope is shattered, we both keep on moving. So like Dwight chasing his wire, keep on moving. Thank you, and as always, thank you for watching.